But Lunchtime Heroes, I've done a few things, but Lunchtime Heroes was probably my first proper experience of a film set and how things are meant to go, and very interesting.
When you look back at it, is there something in the back of your mind that thinks maybe we were selected then because of our looks, because they knew that we would light up the camera? Is that part of why you are not why you think, oh, you were just so happy to be on set? Because Sheba Watokwa is a serious filmmaker.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't play around.
He doesn't.
So if you are chosen, even if you were just excited to be on camera, that wouldn't be the same for him. He'll be thinking there's something they're bringing to the table.
I have no idea what Shay saw in us. Look, he's a fantastic filmmaker. I still am very thankful that he was one of the first experiences I had coming into Nollywood, especially as a young child at that time. I don't think that even till today, I don't reflect on it as it having anything to do with our skin color, because we're on set with so many other people.
When it's light up the screen, I'm not even talking about screen color. I'm talking of light up the screen with looks generally, whether darks, lights, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm using the phrase light up the screen. Like,
I think that he probably got a feel of the enthusiasm that we had at the time.
And still think it's the enthusiasm?
I think it was the enthusiasm as well. Because I think even I remember when we went to audition for it as well in Lagos Island, we were so happy to be there. So I think that maybe he was like, yeah, these would be great people to have this energy on.
By that time, did you think that this was going to be your career at the time, or you just thought it's something I'm going to do for fun?
No, I think I knew I was going to be an actress at a very young age. My dad and my mom watched a lot of movies, and I remember I would watch certain actresses. My dad watched Marilyn, James Bond, and a bunch of other things, and I really keyed into film as a young child. My siblings and I, we are all really entertainment children. We could tell it from when we were younger. We'd make up these plays and perform it for our mom and dad during a holiday or at the end of the week or something, whatever. So I think I'd always known that this was going to be the field that I'd be in. Now I'm even more certain that I'm going to be doing this till I die.
I love it. You mentioned your dad. The internet says that your dad was an actor. Is the internet correct?
A little bit. He was a businessman ultimately. But I think he loved film so much that he was in a few acting gigs here and there.
In Nollywood,
Yeah, in Nollywood.
Right. Why do you laugh?
I think he was also just happy to be there,
Yes.
You know, when you love something so much that you just like to be a part of it in any means possible. I think that's how much he loved film. And I think if he gave it a proper go, he would have been a great actor.
But did he invest in film, or he was just acting in film?
He would just act in films. So when people would be shooting a film and we need a white man in this scene, and he'd always be that white man they would call.
Did he have any inkling that you were going to do movies? Because you say you were an entertainment family.
He definitely knew. He definitely knew. And I had told him there was a film we were watching together, and I was like, wow, it was a Marilyn film. And I was like, what does she do? Who is this person? And he was like, oh, she's one of the biggest actresses in the world. I was like, whatever she's doing, I want to do it too. And I think that it was very little to do with the film that Marilyn was in. I think that she had this light about her.
This Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. That just
for the Gen Z that think we're talking about something else. Yes.
And I think from that point, I was like, yeah, whatever she's doing, I want to do
that too.
And I've gotten more into film to a point where it's like, I love film so much that even if I'm not in front of the screen, I still love to be a part of film. I have produced a few short films. I've been a producer on a proper series. And I love it so, I love film so much that just being a part of that process in whatever format that is very enjoyable for me.
So were you close to your dad?
Super close to my dad.
Right. What do you mean by super close? Were you all super close, or you were particularly super close?
I think we're all close to him.
What does close mean?
That I don't know. I don't know how.
Would you come back from school if you did something naughty, and your dad would be the person you trusted to tell?
Yeah, I would tell him a lot of stuff. He was very. He wasn't like my mom. He wasn't as strict as my mom was. So I would tell him. I remember there was the first time I ever liked a boy. I told him as well. That's how close we were.
That's what I wanted to ask, but I wasn't sure when he left. So I wasn't sure it was an appropriate question. Okay.
I would tell him. I was so close to him. I pretty much would tell him everything about myself at the time. Yeah, he was my best friend.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How old were you? I'm sorry about that.
How old was he?
How old were you when he passed?
Was I when he passed?
Yeah.
16. 15 actually. 15. I was turning 16.
Right. And it was present in your life all through that process until you were 16.
Yeah.
So that must have been tough then.
It was very tough.
Yeah. What happened?
He was sick
Right.
and then he passed ultimately. Extremely long story, but he's not here. Much of that is not irrelevant today.
It's not irrelevant.
It's not relevant.
Right.
Much of that is irrelevant is what I
Right,
meant to
right.
say.
Why?
But because I think that sometimes how a person passes,
Okay.
you shouldn't choose to dwell on.
Right.
Choose to dwell on the moments that they left for you while they were here.
Okay.
I think it's a privilege to spend time with people. Some people never got to know their fathers. I got to know mine for a good 15 years. Wish it had been longer, but in the time that he was here, I'm grateful for that time. I'm taking up all that I got from him, and I'm trying to emulate his kindness, his positivity, his love, his trusting spirit. I'm trying to take, I think when people come into your life, some people stay for 1 year, some people, and this could be like relationships, friendships, they could be teachers. You meet people, and each person that comes into your life, they have something that you take from them. And so I try to take as much as a daughter is meant to take from her father in the time that he was here with me.
Right.
So that's why I choose to say that I don't choose to dwell on how he passed, what he looked like. When you see, what a dead body looks like, many people have seen their dead siblings or husbands or wives or parents, and they've said, that is not my father, that is not my mother. Because I think that the spirit has ultimately left the physical body. So don't dwell on that image. Dwell on the memories of the person that you spent time with.
Right.
And that should be the light.
Right. I want to move on from that, but just because I felt something there, but it does feel like you had to go through a process of letting go of what you physical to get to this place where you're like, I want to dwell on the positive things. What was that process like? So without sharing anything, it does seem like it was a difficult process at least.
It is, and it still is.
Right.
It's still going to be.
Right.
Grief is not something that you overcome overnight. I think you continuously deal with grief, even maybe until you pass as well.
Right.
I remember that my dad would always talk about his mom when he was here, and sometimes he would still like tear up when he was talking about his mom, and this is like 50 years into his life, and he still would, get emotional about something like that. Grief takes time. Take your time with it. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to try to skip any lines. Take your time with it, accept it. And with time, I think that people say it gets easier. I think you just get wiser on how to cope with the fact that someone isn't there anymore.
Right. But still, to kill a monkey was on another level, it appeared. How did you survive that moment, It was just all anyone could talk about for weeks and weeks.
I think that is what you pray for as a filmmaker. When you make a film, when you shoot a project, you work side by side with people, just like today, here we are. People are working behind these cameras to bring it to life. And people work hard. There are sleepless nights. There are really heavy equipment that guys have to carry around all day long. There's a lot of difficult parts of production. And when you shoot a film, that is the ultimate goal, that people really key into your story, key into the production and the message of the film. And I think that people keyed into it so much that they couldn't stop talking about it. So I think that when it was happening, ultimately I felt the grace of God upon the production. I felt that this production was it was God controlled. God took this production into his hands, and he did what he had to do with it. And everyone from TCAM today, no one's the same.
Yeah, no one is the same.
No one is the same. Everyone is much better, bigger. The grace of God has touched each and every one of us, and I think that is the highlight of it.
All right, so I'm looking for trouble with the next questions. Let me warn
Yeah.
you. What did you think of the AMVCA's lists? Considering how life-changing TKM really was.
Here's the thing about award systems.
We want to know what you really feel. Oh.
Here's how I feel about awards in general. I think awards are an amazing time for filmmakers to connect.
Okay.
You have crew members that you worked with 2-3 years ago you haven't seen, and it's a good time for everyone to catch up. You have a lot of actors, producers, directors in one space at one time. It's an amazing moment for filmmakers to be around each other, celebrate each other. I think that the one true thing that I celebrate is being able to perform my art.
Right.
There was a time when I had to focus on paying bills that I couldn't afford to leave that and go on set and shoot a whole production for 3 weeks and be paid 50K because my bills were bigger than that. I am in a position where I get to wake up every day and I can live in my art. I can perform in my art. I can do what I love and impact people with this, because that's what Kemi did with TCAM. She impacted people. If I'm in a position where I can impact people and do what I love, that is my reward.
For you. Right.
I think that the only reward in life comes from God.
Right.
God will reward your life. Do you know the true reward? Being surrounded by people that love you.
Right.
Because we're so focused on everything that is bling and out there and flashy and this and that, but being surrounded by a good team of people, the real reward was working on set.
Right. Your reward already came.
I've received my own awards a million times.
So you were not disappointed not to be nominated?
Not to be nominated.
Not to be...
No, I didn't expect any nomination. I didn't expect a nomination. I expected a few of my colleagues to be nominated, and many of them are. Many of them that deserved it weren't. But because I'm not building my life on thinking that this is a make or break situation for myself or anybody, when you see talent, you go, no.
Right. So you think it's already established?
I think that, Baba, you don't do your thing, you don't do your thing. Whether a group of people choose to recognize you or not, it's a great moment for us to be together and celebrate. You have 10 amazing actors in a category or less than. How are you going to decide who's the best?
Right. What are you most afraid of?
I wish I can say it.
So you know it, but you're not going to say
it. What am I most afraid of?
Yes.
I am afraid for this country. Nigeria has so much potential. Nigeria has Nigerians, and Nigerians thrive. Nigerians thrive in whatever situations. The best doctors, footballers, musicians, they are Nigerians. Nigerians are insanely talented, smart, and driven people. But the environment that we exist in doesn't allow us to reach our potential as much as we want to. Every day, I pray for a better Nigeria. Okay. A Nigeria where we don't have to live a better life by escaping this country. I pray for a Nigeria where we can fulfill our dreams and reach our peak right here. Okay. I pray for a Nigeria with light. I pray for a Nigeria with good infrastructure. I pray for a Nigeria with better health care. I pray for a Nigeria with politicians that really care about us. Politicians like Governor Alex Oti, a man of the people. Politicians that will look out for us. Politicians that will care about us.
What are you most afraid of for yourself?
At some point, there was a fear of losing myself while being in the industry. I don't think I'm as scared of that anymore, because as you learn to understand yourself, I'm most afraid of right now probably losing anyone I love. That's a major fear, because it's not easy to overcome, but you still have to trust God. But it's probably my greatest fear, losing someone I love.
Right. Why?
Because we're human. I think that I have amazing people around me. People that care about me, look out for me, put me before themselves many times. Because grief is probably one of the hardest things to overcome.
Right.
I think many other things are a bit easier to navigate. Not easy, but I think grief is the one thing I struggle till today. You struggle with other things, but grief can drive you to a point of suicide. And so